What's going on? Right now I'll be sharing with you guys a couple of arm discoveries I've been making throughout the last couple of weeks. I really want to bounce them off you guys. So if we talk about growing a certain muscle group, we're now crossing into bodybuilding territory because this is what they specialize in. They specialize in hypertrophy and how could they manipulate their body in a certain way where they're really putting all the focus on that muscle. So for a lot of people like myself, if I do a standing curl, just a regular curl, my delts tend to take over, particularly my front delts. So I have to find ways to lock myself into the position a lot more, and preacher curls are really good for that. Not every gym has preacher curls, but you can still find a way to make it happen. If I do, for example, like a tricep exercise and I don't have like a pad, if I'm just like seated, my elbows are all over the place, it's really hard for me to recruit my arms the way I really want to. So I'm gonna show you guys a very quick lesson that I've learned, and it's a very low-hanging fruit. You don't need any fancy equipment for this. You could be in like a Smith machine, just take a barbell, put it in a rack. But this tip right here is gonna help you get better bracing and really kill a lot of the momentum that you do for your arm training. So you can really focus and hone in on the technique. So as you can see, I got a barbell and a rack right here, and I'm gonna put it around mid-back height, seated. So just the fact that I'm seated already, that's already taking a lot of the leg drive out of it, a lot of the erectors. But I'm gonna put my upper back or upper mid back against the axle bar. It could be a regular barbell as well. And I'm gonna use this bar to brace my triceps so like when I do my curls, it's more strict. So if I do a regular curl like this, I feel a lot of front delts, and the reason why is because my arms are all over the place. It's hard for me to recruit them. So if I put my tricep against the bar now, I can't cheat as much. So I could do my hammer curl like this. I could do a supinated curl like this. Feel it much more because there's less room to cheat. And I'm also seated. Combine that with pauses, tempo work. Could even do check out my mechanical drop set video as well. So I could do, for example, a reach failure on my hammer curl. And once I can no longer do that, I could do alternating. So right? So this is like a high incline curl, which also gives it a better stretch because now the arm is behind the body, but it's not so hard on the shoulder. So you also have the bracing as well. So it's like really bang for your buck as far as curls are concerned. And if you don't happen to have access to like a preacher curl bench, you can simply use this as well. It's like a vertical preacher, if you will. Now as far as tricep training is concerned, a lot of people, for example, they'll just sit down on a bench and they'll do like overhead extensions, right? But the thing is with the overhead extension is that they don't have any back brace. So now it's like it's all over the place. It's getting kind of sloppy. Whereas if I put my back against here, I'm more in a locked in position. And for certain people, they might even go like on an incline bench, but the dumbbell is gonna hit the incline bench. Whereas with this, you can simply superset your hammer curls or your supinated curls with an overhead extension. You don't even have to get up. So you could do this. I really like one arm at a time, but two arms is good too, especially with like an easy bar. Go here, hold on to the dumbbell, lean forward a slight bit if you don't have the best shoulder flexion, and then you could just great for the tricep long head. So let's say you're in a gym with very little equipment, home gym, studio, whatever the case is, and you want to do some preacher curls, but it's very flimsy. The bench is going all over the place. Let's say if I take this 35-pound dumbbell, you see this bench, it's lifting up. You could apply the same tip by simply taking this bench. Now it's pinned against that same bar I was talking about. Go around. Make sure no one's using the rack because you don't want to take a whole rack just so you could do your curls. But this is way more locked into position. The bench isn't super flimsy. You could really drive the elbow down without the bench rising towards you. And now you could also have that unilateral aspect. You could take that other hand, you could put it on the bar. You could really have like a split stance and you could really focus on that arm. You could do hammer curl as well. You don't want to touch the bottom, you want to keep the tension on that muscle. There you guys have it. Quick video, short and straight to the point, but sometimes it's very small modifications that can make bigger differences in your training. I know it's been doing that for me. I feel way more locked into the position, and I hope you guys are gonna feel the same way as well. So give it a shot next time you train your arms. Lock in the position, have a barbell in the back for your elbow flexion movements, have the barbell in the back for your overhead movements. You're gonna be way more locked into position. So with that being said, see you guys next time.